Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Funk. This is for Sports Law Class 503, Case Study 6.1. When choosing this case study, one thing that jumped up to me, the case study I chose was Rawlings Sports Goods Company versus Mark Daniels. This happened in Waco, Texas, June 30th, 1981. And then August 13th, 1981 also is when the rehearing happened. When I was looking at cases that I wanted to choose for this one, I want to go at a little different pace than I'd been doing on the other ones, different subject matter. And I saw Rawlings, and I knew from playing football in high school and now coaching football, Rawlings is a company that makes equipment for football teams. So it just immediately grabbed my attention, and I kind of ran with it from there. I've been around football for about 10 years now, and I'm just interested in to see, before I even read the case, what it had to do with Rawlings and, if it applied for today. Although it happened about 20 years ago, it still has a lot of implications, as you'll see at the end, for coaches and athletic directors going forward to this day. Like I said, it's also very different from the case that I've done because it has to do with products and manufacturing. Facts of the case. The plaintiff in this case is Mark Daniels. Mark Daniels was a Texas high school football quarterback. And he is suing the Rawlings company who produced helmets in this case that the football players wore at practice. So the plaintiff was Daniels, and the defendant in this case obviously would be Rawlings. The facts of the case: he was wearing a Rawlings football helmet at practice in 1974. He was actually hit by another player at practice, and it actually indented his helmet or caved in. Something I've never seen before. But it caved in and indented the helmet. He felt fine when it happened. He handed the helmet to another coach, and the coach handed him a different helmet, and he finished practice that day. The next day he goes to school. Everything's fine. He starts feeling a little bit different at school. He heads to practice, and he actually passes out at practice during the middle of practice. They take him to the hospital. They take him to two different hospitals, actually, and he is diagnosed with a subdural hematoma, which basically comes down to a very severe brain injury. After the surgery, they realized he had surgery to remove the hematoma, which was successful, but there still was permanent damage to his brain, and he couldn't do daily things as well as he used to in the past. At that time, he decided to sue Rawlings Company for negligence and product liability. The plaintiff wanted $750,000 for damages done to his body, and just for negligence and product liability. Okay, so when it came to the plaintiff argument, one of their main arguments was the product was defective. They're not supposed to make helmets that indent like that. It was a defective product, and it exposed the player to the greater risk of getting hurt during their practice. When a helmet bends in or stuff like that, it's more likely that the person's going to get hurt when they're using the product. One of their biggest arguments, too, was that the plaintiff argued that the company was negligent for not making players aware or coaches aware of the limitations of their product, specifically the protective limitations. It never said on the product or in the box that you could get hematoma from severe injury or anything like that from using this product. And they said that was the main reason he got hurt. Defendant's argument. This was I think caught the Rawlings Company off guard that they were getting sued because they didn't have a very good argument in this case. Students, one of their greatest arguments was students know the risk when they play football. They know what they're signing up for. They're signing up for high speed, high collision sport, and they should been taught by their coaches how to tackle, and they shouldn't use their helmet when they are tackling other people. That's what the shoulder pads are for. That was one of their arguments. Another argument they had is that they said that there's no way to prove that this injury happened during that one hit when the helmet caved in. There's no way to tell if it was maybe at an earlier time they got hit or a later time when they got hit. So that was kind of their main arguments, obviously not very good ones. As you can guess, the result, the 20th Judicial District Court in Robeson County awarded $1.5 million to the plaintiff. I know you might be saying you only said $750,000. Well, $750,000 were in fixed damages, and $750,000 were fixed in exemplary damages. The manufacturer, Rawlings in this case, appealed the decision, but it didn't get anywhere with their appeal. The court main ruling was that Rawlings made a defective product that was the producing cause of the player's injury. They also ruled that Rawlings was negligent in not warning their users of their products, and that brain injuries can happen when using their products. So that was the main reasons for why they ruled in favor of Daniels. Some implications on today's society and today's athletics, and when it comes to this, just for the football standpoint, if you look at helmets now, and this is one of the first cases, and companies really started paying attention after this. There is a warning on every football helmet, and the warning reads, "Do not strike an opponent with any part of this helmet or face mask. This is a violation of football rules and may cause you to suffer severe brain and neck injury, including paralysis or death. Severe brain injuries or neck injuries may also occur accidentally while playing football. No helmet can prevent all such injuries. You use this helmet at your own risk." So there you go. So now they're trying to cover themselves from anything that could happen in the future. And I've been a part of teams where coaches make the students read that warning just so they know what they're getting into, so that it helps the company not get sued. I think it's just important that being an AD and a coach, that all your equipment, all right, is very, very top of the line, and students know the risk when using equipment. Make sure all the warning labels are on the equipment, because if the warning label isn't on there, that student probably shouldn't use that helmet. So make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted when it comes to safety, and then obviously just making them aware of the risk that can happen, and that's something that can go with the handbook too, obviously. But I think sitting them down for one practice for 10 minutes and explaining that, teaching the proper technique of how to hit people is very important, and how to use products that they're going to be using in their sport. Thank you.